Night 2 of the title defense, a tight checking and physical game Friday night with some small dust-ups, punches, pushing and shoving. Mason Kelly is stepping up in a big way for UNLV with a game-winning goal and an empty netter. The Rebels are set to go once again tonight for a battle with the Utes. Utah, UNLV next. Returning to City National Arena once again, night 2 of 2, slated for UNLV and Utah. Now UNLV picking up the win on banner-raising night on Friday night, 3-1. Hello and welcome back into UNLV Skating Rebel Hockey. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Dominic DeVos. So, as I said in the open earlier, just a few moments ago rather, 3-1 win for the Skating Rebels on Friday night, backed by Mason Kelly's pair of goals, but it was a really tight checking and physical game. You're seeing images on your screen right now of a few dust-ups, a lot of big hits by UNLV, and of course Mason Kelly's game-winning goal off of a Dylan Jensen rebound. Now, we're expecting a lot of the same things on Saturday night, a lot of tight checking, not a lot of open ice to go out there at City National Arena between these two teams. And for a more in-depth analysis, we're going to send it over to Bo Kennedy, a former player and national champion. Bo, what you got?
Thanks, Dom. I think keys for both teams tonight are going to be clearing out bodies in front of the net. I feel like last night both teams were not able to generate a ton of opportunities in either zone because A, there were a ton of bodies in front of the net, and B, we weren't able to find those shooting lanes. I think also Rebels and Utah need to play whistle to whistle. Last night it seemed like there was a lot of nonsense after the whistle, so it's important tonight to stay disciplined, stay out of the box.
I'm here with defenseman Dylan Kuntz. Dylan, yesterday, kind of had a lot of things to clean up. What are some things you guys can clean up tonight?
Just simplify our game. I thought we came out, obviously it was our banner-raising night, so we're going to come out hot, but they came out hotter, so just got to weather the storm and then play better.
And then obviously physicality, a point of emphasis in this game. You guys kind of enjoy these types of physical games, or what's kind of the message?
Oh, 100%, yeah. We love the gritty games. That's one of our identities, just being gritty and just being playing a hard-nosed game.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you. Dom and Bo, we'll send it back over to you guys.
Thank you, Kyle, and thank you all for tuning in for night 2 of 2 of opening weekend and banner-raising weekend here in Las Vegas, Nevada for the 2025 National Champion UNLV Skating Rebels. On the call tonight is myself, Dominic DeVos, joined by Bo Kennedy, relieving his rinkside duties per se, and filling in for AJ Reed, who had other commitments on the night tonight, joining me on the call. Bo, thanks for joining me here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Dom. I'm excited to be here.
So, Bo, big night ahead of us here in Las Vegas. UNLV successfully defending their banner last night. They've moved it to its now permanent spot here in City National Arena, right up by the donor wall on the far side of the ice. So the UNLV starters are being announced right now under the cover of darkness. We're going to get to those shortly, at least through the broadcast point of view. But, Bo, I wanted to talk to you really quickly about last night's game. We addressed it in the open, how tight checking of a game it is. And you shared your expectations for tonight. Just kind of expand on those for me really quick.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be another fast, physical game. I feel like both teams really want to win tonight. They're going to come out swinging, and I'm ready to watch. I'm excited.
And we mentioned a lot on the broadcast last night. These two teams really don't like each other, per se. And we saw it last night. You saw the scrums in the open, how much they don't like each other. And just expecting much of the same, but to an extent, is fair, I feel like, because they've already kind of felt each other out. It's early in the season. You don't want a suspension. You don't want any sorts of those things. But we saw a total of every 6 10-minute misconducts last night in one whole scrum. I don't expect the officials to play around tonight either, because really they let them play a lot.
last night. So hopefully there's a tighter ship tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm expecting it to be like last night's game, but like I said, even more fast, even more physical. So I'm ready to watch the boys play.
We're just a few moments away from puck drop, but we have some opening ceremonies to get out of the way. The national anthem and a ceremonial puck drop. We're going to get to that right now. UNLV Skate Rebel Hockey coming right up.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to direct your attention to center ice for tonight's ceremonial puck drop. Joining us on the ice is UNLV President Chris Heavey. We thank you for being here tonight and for your support. Captains, please come forward for the ceremonial face-off. Thank you once again, President Chris Heavey, and thank you to our team captains. Attention, fellow fans, please rise and remove your hats. Tonight's rendition of the national anthem is proudly presented by Chris Burke and Rewards. If you've been hurt by a jerk, you better call Burke. Here to sing the Star Spangled Banner, please give a warm welcome to Crystal Goddard.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose vast stripes and bright stars through the perilous sky, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and around its surrendered land, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right, the anthem out of the way and the ceremonial puck drop out of the way. That was UNLV President Chris Heavey showing out to his school's club hockey team's opening weekend after the banner raising ceremony in the rings earlier this week. So as the teams prepare for this game, we're going to take a look at the UNLV starters. Up first, Dylan Jensen, Mason Kelly, and Hayden Siegel, the forwards, Joey Carollo and Dylan Gordon on the back end, and Doug Wakeman gets the nod 2 nights in a row. A quick note on Mason Kelly. A pair of goals last night, the game winner, and an empty net goal to seal the win. Taking a look at Utah now. The Skate Utes got Ethan Gibney, Braden Schwab, and Wallhauser on the forward lines. Then we got Matthew Delaney and Jake Larilla on the back end, and Joseph Greilich in goal for Utah. So no Garrett Fuller tonight for the Utes. We have Greilich in net. So UNLV once again, final score on Friday, 3-1. Mason Kelly with a pair of goals, the game winner and the empty net goal to seal the win. Devin Nagra opened up the scoring in the first period. For the Rebels. Both centers dig in at the center ice line, and we're underway for the second game of the ACHA season for the Skating Rebels. We have an early stoppage. Utah floating one in early, and their bench very, very active. So Utah flipping colors from last night. They're wearing their black jerseys. UNLV wearing their national championship clinching white jerseys. Skating Rebels debuted their brand new black jerseys last night. Now just about 30 seconds into this first period, UNLV is going to get a rush going. That's Kelly who steers it in. Greilich stops it behind his cage and plays it on. Hayden Siegel going to check on Gibney. Here comes Waldhauser shooting one that gets blocked aside by Gordon. Now, a shot from the point gets directed into the trapper of Doug Wakeland. Will hold for a whistle, so some early pressure from Utah and lots of banging on the boards, Bo. Good amount of energy from the Skate Utes group.
Yeah, they're a good club.
And Bo, as a former player, just hearing, I guess, like the banging on the bench, I know it's really big in youth hockey, maybe midgets or so. But what does that do for you out on the ice? You go get a line change and you hear your whole team kind of rallying behind you, especially in a game where you're coming off of a loss the previous night.
Bench energy is so huge, Dom. You can just build off that all game, and it's really noticeable when the boys are quiet on the bench. There's not a ton of energy, so it's huge for us to have good bench energy and for us to build on that.
UNLV looking to build here early. Baker centers one and doesn't make it there. Now here come the Utes the other way, and they're going to chip it in and get changed up. Some fresh legs for Utah jumping onto the ice. Now UNLV is going to hold behind their net for a controlled breakout. As we approach 2 minutes elapsed in this first period of play. Not much going between either team so far. Here comes UNLV. Moving on in. Toe drag move by Masick, and he'll chase that into the corner and steer it up top for Dylan Kuntz, the man we spoke to pregame, and that gets steered down low. Stephopoulos goes careening into the boards. He's back up, no worse for wear. He went into that battle with Karsten Senden. Karsten Senden had the lone goal for Utah last night. So now here comes UNLV once again. That's Baker who steers it in. Backel and Johnson give chase. Johnson ties his man up. Johnson finds it and steers it off the wall. Backel up top off the stick of Joey Carollo. And now Dylan Ford has it. He sends it in from the red line, and Johnson is going to tag up.
That line played really well last night, and I expect them to do the same tonight.
And we spoke about that on a phone call, Bo, earlier, is that Brady Estabrook wearing number 30 for tonight, throwing the body around for a pair of hits on the forecheck as Utah ices the puck. Joseph Greilich really wanted a call there, Bo. But as we mentioned last night on the broadcast, myself and AJ, this freshman group for UNLV playing with a lot of energy, a lot of pop, and you're already seeing it so far tonight.
Yeah, a ton of freshmen in the lineup this year, and they're all great players playing Tier 2 hockey, NAHL, BCHL, AJHL, so they're going to have huge roles for the Rebels this year.
We already have some pleasantries off the draw. Backel and Bisson jousting for a brief moment there. Now on the near side wall, Nagar fires one, directed aside by the stick of Backel, who's out front in front of Drellick. And Bo, that was almost the same exact play that Devin Nagar scored on last night.
Yeah, it's going to be key for the Rebels to get pucks to the net tonight, clear those bodies out in front, find those shooting lanes, and they'll be able to capitalize.
And now Utah with it. Swept up to the point. Delaney fires one, blocked out in front. Loose puck in the slot, gets directed to the half wall. And that gets soccered by Baker, who gets stood up. Or Backel, excuse me. Now a shot off the stick of Wakeland. Now Dylan Jensen, he gets bumped, whacked from the half wall, goes rink wide and sent in. Now a shot from the point gets blocked out in front. That looks like Dylan Jensen got on one knee. And Jensen on the backhand steers it down the length of the ice, and Delaney recovers at his own blue line and gets stood up by Kelly. Now here come the Utes again, a soft shot. Directed away by Wakeland. Now Kuntz ties his man up in the corner. One-time drive, misses the net. And Baker finds it and peels it up the wall. Now loose puck at the right point. A shot doesn't make it through traffic and it goes rink wide, settled down by Hayden Siegel, who has it, and it gets poked away by Sendin. Now Waldhauser gets taken down in the neutral zone. Here comes UNLV. That's Luke Baker who fires it around the wall. Dylan Gordon and Caleb Strong are there. That gets picked out of the open ice. And that goes off a Ute stick. Joey Carollo has it, raises it off of the boards. And that's going to be an icing call on the Rebels. 14:37 to go, and UNLV still without a shot on goal so far.
Yeah, I think it's big for both teams here to weather the storm the first 5 minutes like they did, calm their nerves, and really settle into this game.
And UNLV especially, they've been in their own end a lot. I haven't really seen them get too clean of a zone entry so far tonight.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a simple play exiting the zone, high off the glass, high up through the middle, chipping it up through the middle. I want to be sure on that play. But
shot from the point blocked aside by a shin pad of a Rebel player, and that loose puck is settled down out in front of the UNLV goal. And here comes the Rebels on the tape. Dylan Gordon moving on in all alone, shoots, he scores! Dylan Gordon opens up the score, and with a beautiful move all alone, putting it top shelf.
His regular season debut for the Rebels, he's able to find the back of the net.
And just what a play for Gordon to find the soft spot of the ice bow and just take advantage of it, stick on the ice, right in the middle of the ice, catches the defenders flat-footed, catches a pass on the tape, makes no mistake, and puts it up high where no one else can get it.
Right, as a D-man, he just kind of jumped into the play there, almost like a fourth forward, was able to find the soft area of the ice, like you said, and capitalized.
So UNLV strikes first 2 nights in a row, both courtesy of defensemen. Devin Nagra scored last night, and Dylan Gordon scores tonight. And UNLV's back with it again. Mason Kelly from his knees back up. Bumps a pair of Utes. Hayden Siegel's into support. Kelly peels it out and stands his man up. And Slater tries to chase after that one. It gets sent right back into the zone. And it gets cleared to the red line. Devin Nagra finds it. Nasher White's with it now. So once again, that was Dylan Gordon opening up the scoring. 1 shot, 1 goal for UNLV so far tonight. Dylan Kuntz sends that one into the zone. Kuntz picks that pass off at the red line and softly chips that one down low. Bisson chops at it around the wall, and Backel puts a body. Kuntz steers that one down low. Johnson and Sonnegold do battle with Bisson in the corner. Backel is there to support. And Bisson gets wiped out by Backel behind the play. And now here come the Utes. Moving on in, that gets just chipped down low into the zone. And Dylan Kuntz is there to find it. He's going to wind this thing up and chip it off the glass. And we have some early pushing and shoving.
Brady Estabrook has come out flying tonight. He's all over the place right now.
He's a real big body bow, and he really likes to throw it around. And it looks like that was called an icing by the back linesman, which is that was really late to blow the whistle on an icing there. Because those kind of no-touch icing situations are designed to, protect players.
Of course.
right? You don't want exactly what just happened. Two guys are racing for the puck and they go crashing into the end boards. Happened all too often. So it was either icing or maybe offsides, or someone got a stick on it. Who knows? Still weird for the back linesman to make that call. Nonetheless, we're back underway. That faceoff's won by Utah out of the zone. And now Larilla's with it, pressure by Johnson, who sidesteps his head, and Johnson takes a slash for his efforts coming back. And he gets jabbed by Larilla again as he got onto the bench. So some early gamesmanship by the Utes. Carollo that rolls off the stick of Wyatt, and it's chipped back into the zone. Jackson Wyatt's on it. Sweeps it around the wall, now from the corner, up top to Larilla. Larilla looking, shooting one, redirected wide by a Utah stick. Now down low, the Utes setting up shop. UNLV trying to come away with possession. It gets flipped off the wall into the red line, so Utah keeping the pressure on UNLV. And that drop pass is picked up by Masick. Masick leaves it for Gordon. Gordon back to Masick. Centering try, they score! And it's waved off. Now, why was it waved off, though, Bo? That's what we're waiting to see.
Looked like he maybe kicked it in. We'll see.
It's Chase Tannenberg, the official who waved it off, and they're still going through the handshake line no matter what. Fun fact, Bo, Chase Tannenberg's an off-ice official for the NHL.
Hey, how are you?
Seen him at a few Golden Knights games. Justice Athopoulos pleading his case to the linesman. Jake Larilla is coming to do the same.
Good to see Stathopoulos back on the ice after that heavy blow he took.
Yeah, he popped right back up. Stathopoulos is a tough kid. Very, very tough kid. And now Jake Larilla and Justice Stathopoulos are chatting, and it's going to be officially waved off. So Chase Tannenberg waves the goal off, and he's going to go explain things to the UNLV bench, and the UNLV faithful not too happy about that. The Utah bench getting back active, 11:35. The UNLV second goal on their second shot is waved off. We're back underway. That faceoff won by Charlie Masick. Now Dylan Ford sends it cross corner. Now Stathopoulos is on it, evading pressure. Ryder McIntosh gets canceled out. Now here's Stathopoulos with it again, chips it in to the zone. Ryder McIntosh and Charlie Masick give chase. Senden lifts it off the glass and down the length of the ice. Icing's waved off. Utah comes away with possession. Now to the opposite corner. Puck is chopped off the blade of Charlie Masick's stick, and it gets sent back into the corner. So Utah really, you have a stoppage. They had a bit of a dust up. Looks like Ryder McIntosh was tied up at the UNLV bench with Gavin Barr. So 4-on-4.
I think advantage Rebels here 4-on-4. We have great speed up through the middle, so it's going to be important, especially puck possession. Want to take care of both ends of the ice.
And puck possession and speed up the middle factors into something that you touched on earlier, the clean zone exits. UNLV hasn't been able to get a clean zone exit in a few minutes of game time, it feels like. So 4-on-4 hockey, 10:40 to go. 7 shots total in this game, 5-2 in favor of the Utes. So more space out there. We'll see if UNLV or Utah can get something going. Here comes a speedster, Dylan Jensen, sweeps it over for Kelly, and it gets knifed away by Schwab. And UNLV tags up, and Mason Kelly is going to leave that one, or try to leave it back for Devin Nagra, and hopped over his stick, and Nagra reverses ice in the opening 30 seconds of this 4-on-4 period. Some fresh legs coming on for UNLV. Oliver Band now to Baker. Down low for Band on the tape. Up top, Dylan Kuntz from the slot. Moves in, shoots. Blocked in front by Sunigal. Now Jackson Wyatt picks that one up. He gets tripped up. No arm raised on the official. Here comes Luke Baker. Tries to cut through, and that gets broken up by Gibney and Larilla. Larilla without the stick. He finds his piece of lumber once again. Jackson Wyatt steers it up top. Dylan Kuntz keeps it. Wyatt with it again now. Wyatt steers on the backhand, almost on the tape for Band. A crafty play from Jackson Wyatt. Band gets canceled out by Delaney. Oliver Band with it again. Down low for Baker. Baker with a rolling puck. Going for a skate with it. Baker moving in. Gets a step. Backhand try. Pad save. Greilich sprawling out with the pads and sealing the bottom of the net to keep that puck out. We have just about 15 seconds to go in this 4-on-4 period. Now Jackson Wyatt patiently with it, dropping it off for Dylan Kuntz. In the final 10 seconds now of this 4-on-4 hockey.
Great move there and an even better save.
And just impressive for Baker to even have the edge work, to not have a step on the defender, get even, and then get a step around him while driving the net. Very, very impressive work by the freshman. So both teams back to full strength. 5-on-5 hockey once again. UNLV able to show off a bit of the speed and craftiness they had, or they have, with the extra ice out there. No joy though. That puck is chipped into the zone by Gavin Barr. Now up top, swept D to D. Fanning on the shot there. And that was bumped. We have a Ute down in the corner. They're going to get up and skate away. No worse for wear. Dylan Gordon, the lone goal scorer so far tonight. Chipped that into the zone. Gavin Barr tried to play that further up ice. Cut off by Oliver Band. Asher White shoots one, stick save. Now Luke Baker with it. Baker cuts outside, and it gets knifed off of his stick. Now here come the Utes, and what hand-eye coordination from Devin Nagra to whack that puck out of midair up ice, and a shot from way outside into the skates of a Utes player. And can't get a shot off. Now here comes UNLV again. Band to Strong on the right side. Strong gets canceled out along the wall by Delaney. Strong with it again now from the half wall up top. Nagra shoots one into the glove of Joseph Greilich.
Yeah, it looked like Greilich was able to see that one the whole way. I think it's going to be key, like I said earlier. Get a little more net traffic, really block his eyes, make it difficult for him.
We're going to take a quick breather as we hit our first media timeout of the night. UNLV up 1-0 over Utah, courtesy of Dylan Gordon.
Vince Sapienza here with Fox 5 and the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Make sure you check out my show, Hockey in the Desert Weekly, the only show that highlights your 2025 ACHA National Champion Skating Rebels. From weekly highlights to features on players and staff, I sit down with a member of the Scarlet and Gray each and every week, so make sure you tune in to Hockey in the Desert Weekly every Wednesday at midnight right here on Fox 5 and throughout the week on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network.
All right, the ice cleaning period is just about wrapped up. 6:55 to go. Shots are 5-3 in favor of Utah. Dylan Gordon, the lone goal scorer so far tonight. You're getting an image of Doug Wakeland. 1 goal allowed last night for the Skating Rebels. He gets back-to-back starts for UNLV here tonight. And UNLV will be back home once again next weekend at City National Arena opening their ACHA schedule with back-to-back home games. Skating Rebels welcoming Grand Canyon University, one of the newest members of the Mountain West Conference. As college conference realignments continue to be a bit of a crazy thing in modern sports. Jackson Wyatt centers one. Stathopoulos couldn't get a clean shot off. He got tied up. Here's Jackson Wyatt in the slot, shoots one. Blocker save made by Greilich. And Matthew Delaney grabs that one. And it looks like he closed his hand on it and almost tucked it with his wrist over his elbow like he was on the football, and we have a stoppage.
Yeah, that was a great look from Stathopoulos there to Wyatt, and Wyatt being able to find that open ice and had a great A right in front of the net.
UNLV pleading their case. So I guess the stoppage there was that there's someone blowing a whistle in the crowd. I mean, I'm not tripping. I heard it a couple times, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I just heard it there too.
So wonder how or why someone is doing that, but we play on. Puck gets sent in. Wakeland stops it up. Now Matthew Delaney from the point, evading pressure, gets poked away by Hayden Siegel. Here come the Rebels. 2-on-2, dropped off for Masick, centering try, no joy. Charlie Masick with a saucer pass cross crease. Nearly made something happen, and now here comes Utah with speed. Schwab shoots one off the rush. Save made, and we have a loose puck out in the corner. Ford cancels Schwab out, and UNLV comes away with possession. Kelly sidesteps his man, but gets canceled out. That was Johnson. That puck's in the skates of Trent Gephardt, but Utah still got a rush off a little bit before the puck went out of play. 5:35 to go now. So 5.5 to go. The faceoff's going to come out to the center line. Tyler Senegal is going to dig in opposite of Mason Kelly. A shot from the slot misses the mark. And the official takes a tumble in the play as well. It's chipped down below the goal line. Hayden Siegel pressuring Greilich, and Mason Kelly gets canceled out there. And we're going to have our first power play point blank period of the night. Mason Kelly drawing an interference minor on the Utes. It's going to be Chase Forey sitting for a pair of minutes.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this power play. Last night they were able to get some good looks here, but got another opportunity tonight.
So Dylan Gordon, the lone goal scorer out there with Oliver Band, Justin Stathopoulos, Caleb Strong, and Devin Nagra. And we have Stathopoulos not too happy as we get set for this face-off. Tyler Senegal trying to hook a leg out from underneath Stathopoulos. So the penalty is finally posted on the board. That was a delay, and Senegal still trying to rage bait Stathopoulos, and now we play on, and Senegal with it. Sockers it along to himself, gains the red line, and sends it into the zone, cross corner. A good start to the PK for Utah. That's dropped off and then sent up ice for Stathopoulos. He'll reverse. Playing on the backhand to Dylan Gordon. Now there's Band. Return pass to Gordon. On the tape for Band. On the left wing, Oliver Band head fakes and takes it down low. Up top, Strong on the half wall. Now Nagra at the blue line. Gordon at the top of the circle. Down low, Sophopoulos. Now Sophopoulos looking from the goal line, settling a rolling puck down. Sends it up top. Nagra, one-time drive. Loose puck out in front. Loose puck. Everyone's scrambling for it, and Greilich gets it. So UNLV snapping it around the zone early on this power play, Bo.
Yeah, and Caleb Strong over there has a great shot, and he's got a great one-timer, so I expect to see a lot of goals from that side of the ice from Stronger this year.
So the faceoff's going to come out to the right of Joseph Greilich. It's going to be won by Schwab and wrapped around the wall by the Utah penalty killing unit. Doug Wakeland way out of his net as we are under the final minute of the UNLV power play for the first time tonight. Jackson Wyatt now gaining the zone, pulls up at the half wall. Wyatt rink wide for Backel. To Kuntz. Kuntz from the point, shoots one, blocked in front. Sonical trying to settle down a bouncing puck. He chops to the open ice, but it's picked up by Dylan Kuntz. Now Kuntz down low from below the goal line, directing traffic. Now Backel. Dropping it off for Kuntz. Now Sophopoulos shoots one, misses the net wide, and Backel on the half wall finds it. Backel and Kuntz switch. Now Wyatt to Backel, doesn't get there, but Kuntz settles it down. Back down low to Backel at the dot, moves in, shoots one, misses the net wide. Backel trying to go low blocker on Greilich. 5 seconds to go on the power play for UNLV, and Senegal sends it up ice for Schwab, one-on-one with Kuntz. And Schwab sends it on net, and Wakeland doesn't like the way that was developing, so he holds for a whistle. 3 minutes even to go. A great look on the power play, Bo, for UNLV, but not a lot of shots, but with a handful of chances.
They had some good chances, and I really liked how Dylan Kuntz over there on that right side of the ice was able to really control the puck. He didn't panic. He didn't throw it. He took his time, used his poise, walked on the ice, walked on the behind the net, was able to move it off the back, and they were able to get a good scoring opportunity.
Dylan Kuntz ever patient. We are tipped off to this information. The Kuntz clan, if you want to call them that, from last night over in the corner next to the broadcast area. 5 different states represented to come out and support Dylan Kuntz. It's always great to see the parents in town to support the Skating Rebels. We got a penalty or a stoppage. We'll see what's going on here now.
It's like a hand pass.
And Brady Estabrook throwing the body around a little bit again. You're correct there, the hand pass. And once again, Brady Estabrook wearing number 30 rather than his usual 39 tonight. Just a note. 2:32 to go. Utah wins the draw. Dylan Jensen plays it through, though. Jensen now on the half wall. Now up top, Nagra. Floats it on, redirected, and a bunch of bodies hit the ice. Looks like some bowling pins there, Bo, falling to the slot. They're going to play on. Now Siegel in the corner. Takes a chop from Johnson, and Siegel sends Johnson to the ice, and the physicality picking up. Johnson with a couple chops to Siegel. Now Siegel giving chase again. Johnson bumps Siegel. Kelly with a big collision with Slater in front of the broadcast. And it's picking up here in City National Arena. Sent cross corner. Here comes Oliver Bain, and it's an icing call by the back linesman.
That was close. Looked like he was maybe a step short. I'd like to see that one play on, but
so 140 and even 100 seconds to go in this first period. And I mean, we haven't seen too much stuff so far, Bo. I feel like the prediction is going to serve us that, hey, it's going to be there, but not as potent, but it's certainly starting to build. You can kind of feel it and see it.
yeah, you can.
And they score, Utah off the draw. tying the game just like they did last night as well. That's Paul Waldhauser.
Great shot.
Beautiful shot from the slot right off the face-off. It didn't even look like Doug Wakeland saw it, Bo. He's standing low in his stance, trying to get ready for maybe a redirection to come across the ice, and looks like he got beat up top.
Yeah, and I don't think you can expect Dougie to make that save either. That looked like it was Jay barring in.
And it just really, and going back to the points he made pregame too about clearing the front of the net, that's kind of tough to do right off of a face-off, and can't really point fingers. It's a perfect play drawn up by Utah to tie this game up.
Absolutely.
And maybe if you want to be nitpicky, you'll win the defensive zone draw, but sometimes perfect plays happen, and that was one of them.
Well said.
Now here's Sithopoulos, leaves it for McIntosh, back to Sithopoulos, who touches it through, now in the corner. Justin Sithopoulos plays it on the forehand for McIntosh. McIntosh shifting around from the point, spins it down to the backhand of Masick. Masick knocked to his knees, supported by Carollo, who steers it back below the goal line, and Delaney takes on a pair of Rebels and sends it up to the point, kept by Masick, and it's around the wall for Sithopoulos. Under a minute to go here in the first period of play, recently tied up by Paul Waldhauser. Forward shooting into the chest of Greilich, who holds for a whistle. 39.8 to go. So Bryce Johnson's going to dig in, opposite of Joseph Crowley. The puck gets sent in. Final 30 seconds in the first period of play now. Bryce Johnson left it in the skates of Backel. And now in the corner, Johnson sends it up. Estabrook spins it rink wide. 10 seconds to go. Wyatt from the corner, canceled out by a pair of Utes. And that gets lifted off the wall and out of play into the Utes bench and kicks back out. 4.4 to go in the first. So the faceoff's going to be out to the right. Joseph Greilich, and Utah looks like they're going to stack the slot here with 3 players, which is a pretty smart move. You have a wicked shot on the right wing, Dylan Jensen on his forehand, and they're going to tie the draw up, and nothing much going as Jensen fans on that shot. So through 20 minutes, Bo. Score is 1-1 between UNLV and Utah.
Yeah, very similar start to last night's game. Both teams playing hard and heavy, so should be a good second and third period.
Scoring coming at a premium, so we're going to take a quick break to allow for the ice to be resurfaced and for us to catch our breath. Stay with us. Another 20 minutes of UNLV and Utah coming right up.
tied 1-1 after one, with Dylan Gordon netting his first goal as a skating Rebel. Now, we talked yesterday about the physicality, and it seems in that first period, physicality is still the name of the game. Talking to Dylan Kuntz in the warm-up interview, he said they love playing these types of games, and we could see it out on the ice. Zoe, I think you're standing by with the goal scorer.
Joined here with freshman defenseman Dylan Gordon. Dylan, it was the first goal of the night, first goal as a skating Rebel. Talk me through that.
I think it came from the support in the D zone, and Charlie Masek's great pass to me as I was cutting down the lane. So I think it was really cool to be the first goal and my first goal for ACHA. So
I love that. How do you feel the energy is tonight versus last night?
I think we started off hotter, started to just have our energy right away. So it's been really good so far.
Perfect. And then how do you hope to go into the next few periods of this game?
Just keep the same momentum. I think we're on top of them. They got a lucky shot in, but I think we're doing great.
Thank you so much, Dylan. Dom and Bo, I'll toss it back to you guys.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Kyle. And thank you all for tuning in tonight. UNLV and Utah, game 2 of 2 on the weekend. On the calls, myself, Dominic Dubois, and Bo Kennedy. So some stats through 20. Utah owns the lead in the shot on goal category so far, 9-7. UNLV 0 for 1 on the power play. 4 penalty minutes for Utah, just 2 for UNLV. There was a 4-on-4 period in the first frame of this game. Cleaner zone exits, Bo, for UNLV is a key for this period. And Utah, keep up the momentum that you had at the end of that first frame.
Right, it's going to be huge for both teams. You want to get out of the zone quickly, cleanly, so you can get down to the other end of the ice. And when you're turning it over at your own blue line, it's difficult to get any momentum.
And it really wears on you a lot when, like you said, you're turning the puck over at your own blue line. You get hemmed in, and especially now with the long change period, that's going to wear a lot. And I wonder, I'm going to ask you this too, in your playing experience, being a defenseman, have you ever had that kind of thing happen, right? Where you're in the long change period, it's a tie hockey game, a tight checking game, and your team just can't seem to get out of the zone. And how much does that wear on you?
Yeah, it wears on you a lot, especially when you're in the zone for a minute, maybe a minute and a half. It's exhausting. It's so tiring. So you want to make sure you're making the right, smart decision and getting the puck out of the zone cleanly.
And with the long change, does that, affect anything in terms of breakouts, especially when you're hemmed in, or is it still the same kind of plan? If there's no clean outlet pass, just ship it off the glass and hustle down.
Yeah, you definitely want to get it out of your zone, and as a defenseman, you want to be changing one at a time, because if you're both changing at the same time and bang, quick turnover, you're in trouble.
For sure. No odd man rushes for either team. I'm sure they would hope they wouldn't have to see that. In this middle frame, a tie hockey game, 2 WCHL opponents. UNLV winning the WCHL championship last season en route to their first national championship. Obviously, it's a new year with some reloaded teams. UNLV coming into this season in the first ranking, number 1 in the country. Utah, the 10th ranked team. So as expected, these 2 top 10 programs in the nation providing a couple entertaining games here.
First WCHL win for the Rebels, 4th for Doug Wakeland. He told me that at dinner the other night.
Doug Wakeland transferring in from the University of Central Oklahoma, a longtime powerhouse in the WCHL and a rival for a flash in the pan with UNLV. There were a bunch of fun games for 2.5 years from about 2021 to 2024. And then that program underwent major changes. Doug Wakeland came over to UNLV, and his first real crack at the national championship game with UNLV wins the title.
I'm glad he's on our side now.
So pretty stacked trophy case if you're Doug Wakeland out there.
Looking to add on to it this year as well.
Certainly. So UNLV with the puck in the offensive zone. Jackson Wyatt pirouettes and shoots, and that gets directed into the chest of Greilich and a hold for a whistle. 2 minutes and 1 second gone in this middle period. So the faceoff is going to be out to the right of Greilich. Now UNLV doing battle in the corner. Charlie Masick finds that puck below the goal line. He looks from the low faceoff dot. He swings it towards the goal, wide of the net. Justin Sotopoulos is on it on the half wall. sweeps it down low, intended for Ryder McIntosh. Doesn't get there. He's canceled out in the corner. Now Utah's short, quick passes on the tape rink wide for Schwab, who shoots one. Flash in the leather is Doug Wakeland. He'll hold for a whistle.
I think tonight's matchup's really going to come down to which team wants it more. Which team's going to work harder in the corners to win those battles and make the clean exits.
And that's really where your money is made, clean exits. And the next step after a clean exit, Bo, is playing well through the neutral zone. And that's really where the bread and butter is for any team. And then obviously once you get set up in the offensive zone, getting in the dirty areas of the ice is where you make your money. But when you play two wide open teams that have that kind of fast and loose play style like both of these teams, going back to that point, clean exits and clean through the neutral zone is going to be your friend.
Yeah, and a good showing there from Dylan Ford as he's able to chip that one off the boards and into the neutral zone.
Now here come the Utes with it. Puck rolls off that player's stick. That's Cole Bisson. Delayed offsides. Utah has to get tagged up, and UNLV breaks it out. Brady Estabrook can't find that puck on the breakout pass, and now off the wall and steered in onto almost on net, narrowly missing Doug Wakeland, and it's going to be blown dead for an icing and come back the other way.
Opportunity here for the Rebels with some tired bodies on the ice for Utah.
100%, Bo. They got some fresh guys coming on for UNLV right now.
Utah's done a great job in the dots the last couple nights, and it's going to be important for the Rebels here to win some more faceoffs.
And I mean, like you said, they've been doing a really good job in the faceoff dot. That's how they tied this game up. Paul Waldhauser scoring right off the draw, and the end that UNLV is currently into the first period from the right faceoff dot. Just a perfect play by the Utes to tie this game up. UNLV is set up in the zone, looking to break the tie now. Here's Nagra up top, sweeps it up top, rolls off the stick of Jensen. He tried to tattoo a one-timer from the high slot. UNLV still with it. Head faking with Siegel, who sweeps it down low, almost on the stick of Jensen. Loose puck out in front near the goal mouth, and it's held by Greilich, and we have a takedown. Dylan Jensen taken down emphatically by Colton Johnson. And they're still wrestling. Jensen without a helmet. And Dylan Jensen's not happy at all. And Colton Johnson's got his palm skyward right now, asking what gives.
Definitely a time and a place for the extracurriculars after the whistle. Just got to be careful. You don't want to spend 2 minutes in the box.
Dylan Jensen being escorted to the penalty box. We'll see if Colton Johnson's going, and Colton Johnson will be sitting as well. I would imagine those penalties offset. We're going to see what the calls are going to be. The official talking to the scorekeeper now. Captain for UNLV this year, Joey Carollo, chopping it up with a little smile with the captain opposite him, Jake Larilla.
Glad Joey's wearing the C this year, the hometown kid. It's probably an honor for him to represent his community.
100%, and I mean, it's a long time coming for Carollo, who's been a veteran of this program, his fourth season, joined the team in 2022.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that can play anywhere. Last year against Denver, he was a forward. Now he's back on D.
A couple of times here at City National Arena. Scored a couple goals as a forward as well. Notably, that comes to mind, a shorthanded breakaway goal and on a 5-minute major penalty kill. So Utah has an extra 2. Awaiting the official call. UNLV on the power play, about 4 seconds elapsed on the man advantage. So a big opportunity for the Skating Rebels to take advantage of being on the power play and take the lead once again here tonight. Caleb Strong from the right wing. Looks off band, sends it up to Nagra. Nagra shoots one through traffic, redirected wide. Up top, Strong from the dot, shoots one and directed up into the netting. Caleb Strong looked like he was trying to go short side glove on Greilich, but just a hair off.
Good opportunity there for the Rebels.
So the penalties are 2 minutes each for roughing, and then an extra 2 on Colton Johnson. Dylan Jensen only getting a pair. So I was correct at first. There were some offsetting penalties there, but the officials decided to give Utah an extra 2, which results in that power play once again. Colton Johnson for a rough after a bit of a dust-up with Dylan Jensen on the side of the Utah goal. UNLV setting up shop again on the power play. Under a minute and a half to go now. Strong rink-wide feed just out of the reach of Gordon, who hops on it again, feeds it down low. Now up top, Nagra from the blue line. He'll look. Sweeps it over for Strong at the top of the circle. Back up top, Nagra. Nagra skating with it, still looking. Now to Gordon. Swept up top, Nagra. Slap pass over to Strong. At the dot. Now up top, Nagra from his knee, one-handed, snipes it into the zone deep. And Sethopoulos is on that. What an effort from the sophomore defenseman out of the BCHL to keep that play alive. Here's Strong at the right point again. Head fakes, moves in from the circle, shoots one, snipped out of the air by the trapper of Greilich. 50 seconds to go. What a possession by UNLV, but a better save from Greilich.
Yeah, great possession there. I liked how they were able to move the puck east to west and north and south. It's important to get a lot of movement on power plays, kind of throw off the defenders and give yourself a good opportunity to bury.
And Bo, this power play has felt like it's lasted like 15 years almost. It's hard to believe there's only 50 seconds to go. That's how much UNLV was bearing down on that last possession. Slow and methodical. Snapping it around the zone, and we're going to continue. It's a knife down by Jackson Wyatt. It played back up top. Here's Wyatt, moves in, and he knifes that one up for Kuntz at the point. Kuntz now moves in, shoots one, blocked in front. Oh, bouncing puck settled down by Backel. Now Backel moves in from the dot. He gets bumped and canceled out. Kuntz settles it down at the point, though. Kuntz for Wyatt. Ute is without a stick, so 4 on 3.5. One-time drive from Backel, misses the net wide, and that rims out of the zone. As we approach the final 10 seconds of the UNLV power play, maybe one more rush on the man advantage for the Skating Rebels. Here's Jackson Wyatt to wind it up. Gets turned away at the blue line by Slater. And now Utah back at full strength. A good stand by the Utes in the final half of that power play. Now Backel dances out to the left wing. Takes a step outside again, drives the net, can't get a shot on goal. And now the Utes are coming the other way on the right wing. There's Slater, he pulls up, loses the puck. Matthew Delaney picks it up in stride under pressure, feeds one, blocked by Carollo out front. And the Skating Rebels captain appears to be a little shaken up. Carollo plays that up. The puck finds its way out of the zone. Bryce Johnson pushes it up further into the Ute zone, and Utah is going to break it out again. Slater directs it into the zone. Now from the half wall, pulls up, tries to feed it to the slot. A good stick by Luke Baker. Deflects it to the glass. Now Baker's back on it. He can't knife it all the way through Cole Bisson. And that gets sent right back in. Wakeland can't stop it up. Brady Estabrook now on the half wall. Chops it up ice. And now there's Baker with it. Baker misplays the puck a little bit, and now here come the Utes again. A big-time hit, Estabrook. Sending a message with the open ice check. And we'll play on. Brady Estabrook really throwing the body around. He leveled John Correa there, and Doug Wakeland makes a save. What a hit by Brady Estabrook, Bo. And we mentioned it in the first period. He's throwing the body around. I think that's the best hit of the season from any Skating Rebel we've seen so far.
Yeah, that was a big one. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, getting caught in your own end, it looked like Carollo and Ford were ready to get off the ice.
Yep. Especially Carollo, the captain, wearing that shot. It looks like maybe on the soft part of the elbow pad, maybe like right on the forearm where there's not as much padding.
Yeah, those are stingers.
The puck is steered aside, and Sethopoulos is checked hard by Schwab, and Kuntz Gets reverse hit, but a good effort to cancel out Eric Gibney by Dylan Kuntz, and that's sent cross corner.
Stathopoulos taking the hit to make the play. That's what you got to do.
That's all you can ask for is Asher White's, or Ryder McIntosh's shot rather, is blocked at the point, and it's going to be sent right back into the zone with 12 minutes even to go. That puck sent down the length of the ice by Utah, and an icing on the Utes. So 11:50 to go. Only 23 shots total, 13-10. Utah with the advantage. Still a tighter checking game than at least we're used to seeing here at City National Arena. We're used to UNLV maybe being at the 25 shot mark already.
Yeah, and it looks like both teams are doing a better job tonight of getting bodies in front. Now it's just important to get those pucks through on net.
A few bodies fall on the face-off dot and sent down the length of the ice again. Carollo hustling back. Icing for back-to-back times. Kind of an odd question, Bo, off of the top of my head. If you ice the puck multiple times in a row, and I guess say you're not, trying to kill a game off, it's like a 6-on-5 situation. Should there be a penalty or something like that? Slowing the game down, delay a game, something?
Yeah,
you can't call 2 timeouts in a row in football.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's a good point, Dom. I know in Minnesota, high school hockey, I don't know if they've implemented this rule fully, but they were trying it out when it was 5-on-4, you're shorthanded. You could not ice it. It would be called icing. Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Right? I guess they're just
The state of hockey did that?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, for some of the spring events, I know they're trying it out. I guess
Was that
they're
when
just
you were playing there?
trying to promote more offense.
Not when you were playing there?
No, it was
still?
more for the high performance 15s, 16s, and 17s. I know they're
Fair
trying it
enough.
out.
With a drive, that was Dylan Gordon streaking in, and it looks like Greilich had to squeeze the pads together. Sorry to cut you off there.
No worries. And as a stay-at-home D-man, that would hurt me if they implemented that rule fully.
Yeah, your job's going to be made so much harder.
Right.
So a great chance for UNLV there. Kind of caught us off guard. So now the faceoff's going to come out to the left of Greilich. Charlie Masic's digging in for the Rebels. Tied up, and the puck skips free to Carollo at the point. He feeds it down low. Knocked to his knees was Backel. And Utah is going to start it out up the left wing side. To the center of the ice. A shot blocked in front by Dylan Gordon. Now it's sent back in, and a sprawling save by Wakeland. That was a bit of an odd bouncer. And we have another stoppage of play. That'll wake you up if you're a netminder, Bo. If that won't, I don't know what will.
Right. Always got to be ready between the pipes. Dougie was.
Almost not really reminiscent, but I mean, harken back to the Golden Knights, their game in San Jose on Thursday night. A brutal bounce for Alex Nedeljkovic in the final minute of a 3-2 hockey game. Well, first off, the Sharks blew an empty netter, and then Jack Eichel comes the other way for Vegas. Just tries to make a play, chip it into the zone, maybe get a face-off in the offensive zone, 6-on-5, and weird bounce, skips past Alex Nedeljkovic, and he misplays the puck in overtime at his blue line, and Riley Smith buries it in the yawning cage for the Golden Knights to skate away with 2 points.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Disastrous there. Not saying that Wakeland sequence there was disastrous. It was just kind of relatable.
Absolutely.
It's an alternate reality for the San Jose Sharks on Thursday. Loose puck in the slot is corralled by Utah as they try and wind up a rush. It's played off the wall and stopped up by Asher Whites. Now Whites picks up the loose puck as Utah tags up.
It's a good gap from Whites there at the blue line. He's not letting Utah walk in cleanly. He's right there, stops him, takes it back into the zone. Now they set it up for a clean breakout.
And that's huge, just being able to get a controlled breakout with speed. Everyone's pumping their skates. And here they come. It got stopped up for a moment, and Nagra sidestepping a big hit attempt at least from Karsten Senden. And we have A stoppage is going to be a penalty on UNLV, it looks like. I believe it might be Oliver Band who's going to be going. It's going to be a hold for sure, and it's going to be on UNLV, and it's going to be Bryce Johnson, going 2 minutes for a hold. So we get our first look at the Utah power play, over 4 on Friday night. Myself and AJ Reed on the broadcast last night mentioned how potent that the Utah power play was last season. Now after going 0 for 4.
Yeah, bigger opportunity here for both teams to get some momentum here in this second period.
This is a big chance for the Utes. Karsten Senden is out there. Excuse me, John Correa. So we're waiting on the penalty to be added to the board at City National Arena. 9:44 to go. 13-11 are the shots. Penalty killers out there for UNLV. Justin Stathopoulos, Mason Kelly, Dylan Kuntz, and Joey Carollo. Power play unit for the Utes, Brady Schwab, done by Paul Waldhauser, Jake Larilla, John Correa, and that was Correa on a one-time chance, and it just hopped over his stick. It's a good try from Utah. Mason Kelly knocks it down, and here comes Kelly on the left wing. He delays on the half wall, pulls up at the bottom hash mark, and feeds it down low. He and Carollo will just get back. Already 30 seconds gone on the Bryce Johnson holding minor. Dylan Kuntz cancels out Larilla. Paul Waldhauser has a goal tonight.
Here we go.
And that's chipped through. Here's Justice Stathopoulos moving in alone. Shoots! Misses the net. Justice Stathopoulos with a whole lot of daylight on the blocker side, and he just looks like he missed it on a breakaway shorthanded. That could have really changed the game for the Rebels. We're going to play on. Joey Carollo without a glove. And Dylan Kuntz is going to go for a penalty, and Stathopoulos touches it up, and Kuntz is not too happy. I believe it's going to be a high-sticking call. Kuntz got tied up behind the net with Gavin Barr, and I'm going to call it even. This is going to sound crazy, and I'm not calling it even, but it did look like Gavin Barr sold that one.
It did look like a little bit of a sell.
I mean, the butt end of Kuntz's stick comes up. It hits him directly in the cage. I don't think it went through the cage and hit him in the face. It just kind of grazed him and snaps his head back and drops to the ice. The official in the back corner sees that arm go straight up. So 5-on-3 for the Utes, and this is a big one for both teams.
If anything, a good sell.
Very, very good sale. So Utah with it, 5-on-3 man advantage for an additional 30 seconds and some change. It could change the game for both teams. Utah can at most pick up a 2-goal lead, and UNLV at best can escape this penalty killing time with a tie still. So 15 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. That's the Bryce Johnson holding minor. All that happened about a minute 45 ago. And then Asher White's trying to tie his man up. Final 5 expiring on Bryce Johnson's penalty. And that's going to skip out of the zone. So UNLV is now 5-on-4 for a minute 5. And some pressure moving on in. Backhand try. Loose puck, and Greilich squeezes the old legs together and holds it. And that's another shorthanded chance for UNLV on this same exact penalty kill. And if I'm Utah head coach Morgan Feeney, I'm kind of talking to my power play unit there when they get back to the bench. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you got to be careful with the puck in your own end, especially when you're the last man back. Brady Estabrook made a great play there and had a great opportunity, but an even better save from Grelick.
So face-off's won by UNLV. About 50 seconds to go. That gets sent right back into the zone. here come the Utes with speed. That's Matthew Delaney. He pulls up. Gibney gets pickpocketed. Here comes Mason Kelly in a foot race. Kelly on a partial break. He pulls up at the hash mark and misplays the puck. Mason Kelly looking for his third of the weekend, and he looks a bit labored going back to the bench. We play on. 20 seconds to go in the UNLV penalty kill. And once again, Bo, it's another good shorthanded opportunity for UNLV.
Yeah, it looked like Kelly was really out of gas there, probably on the ice for about the last 45 seconds as a killer, getting hemmed in your own end, and just wasn't able to turn the afterburners on, but still a good opportunity there from Kelly.
Final seconds ticking off, and UNLV's back to full strength. A huge 5-on-3 penalty kill for the Skating Rebels. They escape that two-man disadvantage, still tied in this hockey game. Here's Jackson Wyatt to the center off the stick, and they score!
Tic-tac-toe.
And a big-time goal for UNLV. 2-1, fresh off of a 5-on-3 penalty kill. Welcome to City National Arena, Luke Backel.
Yeah, that was a great play from Jackson Wyatt, able to break out the puck, gets it through the middle of the ice, up the wall, dishes it to the middle. Johnson slides it off the back, was able to one-time that in for the...
And once again, Bo, it's a freshman stepping up and delivering.
There's going to be a lot of that this year.
And that gives you a lot of promise if you're the coaching staff for this UNLV team. Just the fact that you have these freshmen, their first handful of games at the ACHA and college level, making these kinds of plays. These guys, if they don't transfer, can stick around the program for a while, and it's going to be essentially the same thing. The UNLV just keeps replacing talent with talent. And a big-time check. That's Caleb Strong getting bumps right in front of the broadcast table. Now Dylan Gordon opened up the scoring for UNLV tonight. And Stathopoulos off the pass on the tape from Backel, chips it into the corner. Charlie Masick gives chase. Now Stathopoulos from below the goal line, leaves it for Nagra. Dropped off. And that's dropped off again for Stathopoulos at the half wall. Stathopoulos now protecting the puck with his body. McIntosh with a drive, misses the net wide. The official had to go a little bit of a flamingo there and let that puck go by. Here comes the Utes and a beautiful sidestep of that hit. That was Karsten Senden. And here come the Rebels moving on in. Shot on the backhand. Won't go. And that's going to be in the corner now. Kuntz bumps his man along the wall. McIntosh finds it. Tries to send it in deep again. No joy in Utah trying to settle things down. And it gets lifted off the glass and over the stick of Dylan Kuntz. Joey Carollo comes in for relief to pick up that loose puck. Now Carollo from behind his own net on the backhand for Kuntz. Kuntz up the right wing side, can't chip that puck in. He takes his man down through the contact at the UNLV bench. And now on the right side, here come the Utes, and that gets fired opposite corner off the glass and takes an aggressive kick. And played up to the red line and fired cross corner once again by Utah. So Utah not able to get as many clean zone entries. UNLV doing a great job clogging up the neutral zone and forcing a dump in. Now Kelly stretching that one down the length of the ice, and Siegel doesn't beat out the icing race and gets slashed a little bit.
Looks like maybe a little bit of a set play there from the boys.
It did look like that, yeah. Just chuck it down the length of the ice. It's trying to figure out a PG way of saying this. It's a, well, we'll see what happens. Siegel's down there somewhere.
Right.
Bit of a go route. We'll call it a go route.
There you go. I like it. It's like the Rebels today.
Yeah, UNLV football narrowly beating Air Force to remain undefeated. So they have a bowl berth, 6-0, but the 1-4 Air Force at the time, giving UNLV a run for their money. Over 300 rushing yards for the Falcons, their notorious option offense. Now here's Mason Kelly, chipped in by Siegel. Now Estabrook sidesteps his man, Jackson Wyatt, on the tape from the point. A few head fakes, tries to pitch it down low, and it gets stopped up. And Backel, who broke the tie moments ago. And Bryce Johnson knifing that one free. Giving chase in the corner, and that puck goes up and out of play with 2:44 remaining. And we finally get our immediate timeout. Plenty of goings on here in this middle period. 2:44 to go. Luke Backel breaking the tie here at City National Arena and giving the Rebels the lead. The final 3 minutes or so coming right up.
Experience the ultimate clean at Tommy's Express. Introducing our best wash, The Works, with underbody flush and ceramic body wax. Our specialized soap washes away salt, bugs, and bird droppings, and ceramic body wax protects your vehicle from the elements. Text the keyword on screen to 86697 to send a free month of our best wash, The Works, directly to your phone. Discover the Tommy's Express difference today. Offer valid for new guests only. Terms apply.
All right, welcome back inside of City National Arena. The Ice Crew wrapping things up. Once again, 2:44 remaining in this second period. Luke Backel breaking the tie for the Skating Rebels. Going over the goal scorers tonight. Dylan Gordon opened up the scoring in the first period on the game itself, putting UNLV up 1-0. Then tying the game up was Paul Waldhauser. And then breaking the tie in this period was Luke Backel, his first as a Skating Rebel. So a pair of Skating Rebels with their first career goals at UNLV tonight. Plenty of things to feel good about with this freshman group.
Yeah, I think with the last 2:44 here, it's going to be important for both teams to take care of their own end of the ice. Limit the turnovers, make the simple, smart plays.
And get out of the period with a lead. If you're UNLV going into the third, that's going to be big. But as last night showed, this Utah team will not go away. They refuse to go away every single night. Part of the reason why they're the number 10 team in the country, and we have face-off called off, and Bryce Johnson ran over Brady Schwab in the dot, and they're both going to get tossed out. So you got an equally physical guy in there, Brady Estabrook, but no one's getting pushed in the dot this time. Here comes Utah. Wakeland out to play it, plays it to the half wall. It gets stopped up by Johnson, who lets the shot go, blocked by Bryce Johnson. Down low, Waldhauser to Gibney in front. Wakeland shoulders it away. Loose puck in the slot, and it's going to be steered away from danger and taken out the right wing by Brady Estabrook. And here comes Estabrook with speed. Puts one on off the pad. Rebound chance. No one home for UNLV. Glove down to the slot. Fed out to the left wing. Now Band up top. Shoots one. Misses the net high and wide. And Luke Baker's on it and shakes off a check at the half wall and sends it in deep once again. UNLV trying to get changed up in the offensive zone. As Utah coming away with possession, they lift it off the glass and down the length of the ice for an icing with 1:36 to go in the second.
Some tired bodies on the ice for Utah. It's going to be important for them to get it out of the zone here and get some fresh legs.
Especially like we mentioned at the top of this period, you're hemmed into the zone, you're tired, you're icing the puck. It's a long change, so they're going to need to get a clean zone exit or send the puck up ice and pray it gets deflected so there's no icing call and they can finally get changed. Here's Jackson Wyatt for Caleb Strong, and that one-time drive gets blocked to the corner. Kuntz delayed for a moment there, and Waldhauser sends it down the length of the ice for another icing. And
if you're Utah right now, last thing you want to do in the last 80 or so seconds is give one up here, and it's going to be important for them to get it out of the zone and, like I just said, get some fresh legs.
So minute 19 to go. The shots are now even 15 a pop for both teams in this game. We're back underway in the UNLV end. A pair of Utes hit the ice down low. And fed out in front, loose puck, and bouncing puck is directed out to the corner, and that gets lifted but kept in the zone by Dylan Gordon. Now Oliver Band for Gordon off his skate. He keeps possession. Dylan Gordon down low. Gets canceled out in the corner, and that gets played to the opposite wall. Jackson Wyatt with it with under a minute to go in the second frame. All tied up in the corner.
Good recognition from Backel there, seeing Jackson Wyatt tied up down low. And he comes back and starts to play that defensive position.
Now that's Stathopoulos there as he got on for Backel. And a shot from the left point by Gordon is blocked, and now Wyatt with it. Gordon with a bit of a pick, and he has it now. Keeps his zone, and that gets picked off, and it's going to be a delayed penalty call that's blown dead. Holding on the Utes, so 15.6 to go in this second period. And with Utah icing the puck as many times as they did, being hemmed in the long change period, they finally get changed up. But hey, now the final moments of this period, they're on the penalty kill. It's going to be Karsten Senden, 2 for a hold. So UNLV with a chance to strike with pressure mounting on the power play and maybe go into the second intermission with a 2-goal lead. There's a loose puck already fed outside. Gordon shoots one off the post. Dylan Gordon nearly connected for his second of the game. That time off the post on the power play. And a loose puck is sent out of the zone. And by the skin of their teeth, Utah escapes that one without a goal against, but that was ever so close.
Yeah, it was, and I feel like the turning point really in that period for the Rebels was the ability to kill off the two-man advantage. And they were able to build on that, get some momentum, and they found the back of the net.
UNLV coming back in the third with a minute 45 of carryover power play time. The score is 2-1 in favor of the Skating Rebels. 20 minutes or more coming right up right after this.
2-1 after 2. One point of emphasis that I've seen from the Skating Rebels team is the young guns. You know, 2 first-time goal scorers here for the Skating Rebs, Dylan Gordon and as well as Luke Backel. So, you know, they're stepping up in a big way. Now we'll go to Zoe with another rookie goal scorer.
I'm joined here with Luke Backel, another rookie, to set his first goal as a Skating Rebel tonight. Luke, talk me through that goal. How was it?
You know, it was just a good entry. Puck popped out to me from BJ and put it in the back of the net.
There's a lot more physicality tonight. How are you guys staying composed out there?
I just play the body and they're trying to get us off our game. We're just sticking to it, and that's what's working right now.
Going into the the last period, we're up 1. How do you hope to go finish this off?
Just details, just stick to our game and hopefully come out on top.
Thank you so much, Luke.
Thank you.
Of course. Dumbo, back to you.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Kyle. And thank you all who stuck around to the broadcast through 40 minutes, or if you're just joining us for the third period, thanks for joining us on the call. Myself, Dominic Waugh, joined by Bo Kennedy. Now, stats through 40 minutes of play. UNLV leading just narrowly in the shots on goal department, 16-15. No one scored on the man advantage just yet. 6 penalty minutes a pop for each team. Some keys. UNLV needs to stay out of the box, and Utah needs to stay physical. And looking at the score, 2-1 is a score in favor of the Skating Rebels. They enter this period with 1:45 of carryover power play time. So once again, a huge power play for UNLV. Sitting in the box is Carson Senden. But fresh legs coming out for Utah at the end of that period, Bo. They were hemmed in the long change, and now you got to sit down. You got a bit of a rest in. We're going to see how they do now on the PK.
Yeah, I think key for the Utes right now is killing this penalty off first and foremost, and then after that, just get pucks deep, get to work, get pucks on net, and hopefully good things will come.
Exactly. Pucks on net, good things happen no matter what. We're back underway here at City National Arena. The third period is going. Here's Caleb Strong to Band, moving in, shoots one, loose puck, Strong to the backhand, can't get a clean angle. Niagara shooting one, snipped out of the air by Graylick. And what an effort. Joseph Graylick was turned all sorts of ways around on that sequence, made a pair of good saves, and just great effort from the Utah penalty killing units to clog the slot, especially when there is that loose bouncing puck in prime real estate.
Yeah, that's a big save for the big man in between the pipes.
So we're back underway, just under 1:20 to go now, and
next one's a big one.
certainly it can swing the game one of two ways. UNLV can pick up an insurance marker, and Utah can tie this game back up and continue to not go away easily. Here's Justice Sothopoulos in the final minute of the power play for the UNLV Skating Rebels. Here's Devin Niagara, to Dylan Gordon moving in for the dodge. Shoots one off the post, the second post tonight for Dylan Gordon, and the second one on the man advantage. Partial 2-on-1 for the Utes developing, and a shot into the glove of Wakeland, who chucks it out for Oliver Band to keep the play going. 35 seconds and counting to go on the power play. Band shaking off a check, protecting the puck, and can't chip it past Matthew Delaney, who sends it down the length of the ice. A pair of fresh penalty killing Utes are stepping onto this ice at City National Arena. 20 seconds to go now.
Confident play there from Dougie to be able to put that one in his trapper and play it up to Oliver Band, who was able to take some ice and give the Rebels an opportunity.
And an opportunity there, wiped out. Luke Backel already has a goal tonight. Zoe Salas spoke to him at the intermission. He was pushed into the net. Charlie Masick had a chance there, so the officials putting the net back on its moorings.
It's
again, UNLV freshman at least getting a step around the edge. Matthew Delaney rims that one around the wall. There's Schwab with it. Brady Schwab from the left wing shooting one. It's into the high glass and kept into the zone, but a bouncing puck hops out of the zone, and Utah's back to full strength, but here come the Rebels. Luke Backel already with a goal. Moves in, shoots one. This is the net wide. That was a prime scoring chance as a Ute in the slot fell over and left a whole lot of white ice for Backel to work with. It's already UNLV coming out humming in this third period after just over 2 minutes of elapsed here. And Paul Waldhauser sends that one off the blocker of Wakeland. Waldhauser has a lone goal so far for the Utes in this game. That's spun off the wall on the tape for Eric Gibney, who loses the puck. Played to the wall for Johnson, dropped off. Estabrook shoots one into the trapper of Graylick, who holds for a whistle.
Good play by Backel there at the blue line to use his strength and really outmuscle the defender and swing into the zone and fire one on goal.
So the face-off out to the right of Graylick. Baker got tied up by Matthew Delaney nicely there. That gets airlifted down the length of the ice, and it hops over the stick of Joey Carollo, who's under pressure below his own goal line and gives it up. It's played off the half wall and kept by Larilla, who sends a shot off the pad of Wakeland, and looks like it skipped through the blue paint for a moment there. And UNLV comes away and survives that attack. Now here comes Bryce Johnson, 1-on-3, skating through traffic. He gets canceled out. Estabrook now from the half wall, plays it to Ford, who keeps his own. Dylan Ford with a nice move, steers it to the net, misses it just wide, and that's going to hop to the stick of the Utes player and chipped into the zone. And got a stoppage of play, 16:44 to go. And we got a little John Party in the arena. It's good choice. Got a bit of a regret from the summer, Bo. I had the chance to maybe book a flight and go see John Party in Lake Tahoe, and I didn't. So that kind of hurts, but
It's always next year.
yeah, for sure. Maybe if he comes to Las Vegas, we'll see.
There you go.
Mason Kelly wraparound try, gets stuffed. And Kelly all tied up, not too happy. Cooler heads will prevail for a brief moment. The faceoff's going to come out to the left of Graylick. Mason Kelly's going to dig in. Opposite of Spencer Sykes. And that's sent right out of the zone past the stick of Asher Whites.
I think if you're the Rebels here in this third period with 16:23 left, you just want to weather the storm, make the simple, smart plays, get pucks out of the zone, just keep chipping away.
Puck played in below the goal line. Mason Kelly doing battle with Johnson. That gets chopped away. And now Kelly swings it around the wall up top for Asher Whites. Now down low for Jensen. Jensen up top. Whites shoots one into the chest of Graylick and holds for a whistle, and some pushing and shoving and some jousting. Dylan Jensen grabbing a hold of some lumber there, and everyone skates away. So not as testy as the game is built since basically the end of the first period, though.
Yeah, I feel like both teams know what's at stake here in this third, being a one-goal game. You got to stay smart. You got to stay disciplined. Make the right play. You want to retaliate, but usually the retaliation ends up being the penalty.
Second man always gets caught, right?
Right.
We don't want that to happen. Jackson Wyatt's point shot is kicked away by the pad of Graylick. Utah unable to get a clean breakout. They just chip that puck in. And here comes Brady Schwab, swings to the right wing side. And a shot off the stick of Wakeland, steered to the half wall, spinning away from pressure and getting pickpocketed. Now here come the Rebels. Charlie Masick, 2-on-0 with McIntosh. Masick swings it over McIntosh, and it rolls off of his stick. He misses the net as he goes crashing into the end boards, and Ryder McIntosh looks a bit slow to get up as Graylick holds for a whistle, and McIntosh is back up. Skating off under his own power. A scary collision there for the freshman forward. And what a chance for UNLV on the 2-on-0. Charlie Masick delaying, and you see there Ryder McIntosh frustrated as he gets on the bench.
Yeah, you're right, Dom. That was such a great chance and such a great play by Masick, waiting until the last second there to slide it over to McIntosh. Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to bury.
Face off won by UNLV. Dylan Gordon shoots one loose in Graylick's pads. And so whistle, Graylick has to squeeze to keep that one from leaking through.
Yeah, Dylan Gordon's looked really good tonight. He's been able to find the lanes, get pucks to the net, and he's been one of the best players on the ice.
A great showing from the freshman. I mean, last night you had Mason Kelly stepping up in a big way, the third-year player. And now tonight you have the freshman stepping up. Now Baker dancing through traffic. Let's play down low. Here's Caleb Strong. Carollo shoots one, blocked in front. Rebound, Ban plays it right across the goal mouth. And Gephardt tries to clear the zone. He doesn't. Luke Baker keeps it. Now Baker surveying the ice and swings it down low. Oliver Ban catches it on the backhand, and now he goes for a skate with a centering try just out of the reach of Baker, who is streaking to the soft part of the ice for the Rebels. Now he goes for a skate with it, leaves it for Carollo. Return down low for Baker. This is that comes off its moorings, and Caleb Strong puts it back on quite subtly, and a pair of players hit the ice. And here's Strong, shoots one, flashing the leather again is Graylick. And what an effort from Caleb Strong, putting the net back on and getting that loose puck and turning and burning one straight on net. So 14-26 to go. UNLV's been buzzing. They now lead 26-17 in the shot department. Face-off's won by the Utes, and they lift that one off the glass and out of play.
I really like the way this Johnson, Backel, Estabrook line has been playing in these last two games.
I do too.
They've been hard, they've been fast, creating a lot of scoring opportunities for the Rebels.
They just seem like a hard line to play with. All those guys they're tall, they're burly as heads up. There's another puck goes out of play right in front of us. So that would have been fun. That was going to fall right into the Coons Clans' lap here in the corner, though.
Fortunately, we're in an NHL facility, and they got some nice nets set up to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, I mean, there's, like above you, there's a lot of glass that could be hit all around this place. You don't have just the fans. You have the biggest Golden Knights offices right above us on this side of the ice. That shot, is blocked up into the netting. So 14:07 to go. UNLV with a lot of zone time. And we're going to try that one again.
Speaking of the Knights, Dom, what do you think of the Marner addition to the club this year?
I mean, you've seen it in the home opener. It's already paying dividends. I like it a lot. Mitch Marner adds a lot to the team. A lot of craftiness and playmaking. You saw it in the preseason. You saw it in opening night against the Kings when Vegas fell 6-5 in a shootout. So I think Mitch Marner can turn Vegas into a wagon as Luke Backel is tripped up in the corner and Utah touches up. And UNLV already with a lot of momentum. They get a little bit more and they go to a power play once again. Tripping is going to be the call.
Another great opportunity for the Rebels here to get a 2-goal lead here just about halfway through this third period.
It's going to be Carson Sinden sitting in the sin bin for Utah. Pivotal power play here. Face-off is won by the Utes, and they rim that puck around the wall and out off the rip. Oliver Band gets body position on Larilla. Devin Nagra down low in the corner as the defenseman. And Larilla wins that puck battle and whacks it out of the zone. Already just over 30 seconds gone and a man advantage for the Skating Rebels.
I like that play from Stather there to be able to come down the sidewall, stop halfway through the zone, set up the power play, give themselves an opportunity to start snapping it around. Unfortunately, Utah was able to clear it, but we play on.
Dylan Gordon with it again for a brief moment. He already has a goal tonight. Oliver Mann looking, feeds it to Stathopoulos, and just behind him, Gordon with a drive. Loose puck, still out in front. Gordon knifing at it, still loose in the crease, and he got some dust up here as everyone was crashing the net. Loose puck in the blue paint, and once again, the man we've been talking about all night long, it feels like Dylan Gordon all up in the mix there on that play.
Yeah, if you like to take the prop bets, you definitely take the over tonight for Dylan Gordon shots. Might be either 5 or 6 for him tonight.
100%. I mean, the freshman just playing with no fear. And I mean, you saw right here, too, there was a loose puck sitting maybe at the top of the goal crease, and Gordon comes in skating hard, and he immediately tries to at least get a stick on it and direct it towards the net and create a scoring chance. So great hockey IQ from the freshman on that sequence. And like you said, take the over on Dylan Gordon's shots. He's had his fingerprints all over this game, even though it won't necessarily show up on the stat sheet every single time. Here's Coates with a drive into the chest of Graylick. He'll hold for a whistle, 50 seconds to go on the man advantage for UNLV. The faceoff's going to come out to the right, UNLV. To the right of Graylick. UNLV with some good zone time on this man advantage. Backel swings it up. Here's Wyatt with a drive into the trapper of Graylick. He's been seeing a lot of shots all the way through lately.
Yeah, this power play is a little different from the previous. They have 2 defensemen out here, so you're going to see a lot more low to high, a lot more shots from up top compared to the first one where there's only 1 D-man at the top of it running the power play, where they may look to get some shots from either the sidewall or in front of the net.
And that's something where the low to high plays, you can get burnt really easily because, I mean, you have 2 forwards up defending essentially if you're playing a box. Penalty kill, defending the defenseman. So, I mean, if you try and go low to high and they pick it off, it could be a 2-on-2 going the other way shorthanded as that puck skips on net and Graylick holds for a whistle.
Right, and it's important for that forward on either side to be able to recognize when maybe, hey, Utah's got control of this puck. They're going to walk out of the zone cleanly. You need to be able to get back and start defending the rush.
Yeah, it just really depends on how aggressive you want to be on the power play. And you mentioned the 2 defensemen out there for UNLV. As a drive from Strong, it flutters up and is held in the glove by Graylick. I mean, the 2 defensemen, you're going to force a lot of low to high plays, but just having 2 D-men out there rather than the traditional 4 forwards, 1 defenseman already kind of shows that the UNLV coaching staff is thinking, okay, we're midway through the 3rd period, tight checking game, 2-1. We don't want to have 4 forwards out there, maybe give up an odd man rush and have this game all of a sudden be tied, and then we're kind of on our heels in a way.
Right, exactly, Dom. And even in the NHL now, you're seeing teams playing with 5 forwards on their power play. I know the Knights tried that out the other night, as well as the Kings. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes from there.
5 forwards on a power play is insane. I mean, I guess if you have a guy like Mark Stone, who's a great 2-way forward, great in the neutral zone and getting his stick in passing lanes and getting takeaways, but I haven't quite identified a Mark Stone-esque player on this team just yet. Utah back to full strength, but Bo, you're seeing it again, just not a lot of clean zone exits for Utah. UNLV really controlling the pace of play in the neutral zone as we have a bit of a broken play and a shot going off the side of the cage, it appears, for the Utes as UNLV in their own end now. And it looks like things may have flipped on its head for a brief moment. And now here come the Rebels again. That's Backel with it. Backel trying to dance through, and he gets canceled out by Johnson, poking it on. Good effort by Backel. Now he looks. Centering try. Estabrook shoots, and it looked like it hit a body in front. UNLV back to humming in the offensive zone. There's Estabrook behind the net. Tries to feed it to the slot. Loose on the side of the cage. He picks it up on the backhand and plays it off the kick plate to the point for 4. D-to-D for Carollo. He delays and softly sends it below the goal line. Now here's Backel with a centering try. Poked up in the air and settled down and taken the other way by the Utes. And they're going to get changed up. A great, smart hockey play from Gavin Barr to delay it for that brief moment, gain the red line, and send it down.
Yeah, and going back to our point there about zone exits and entries, I feel like that'll come really with time. Both these teams have not played many games this year, and everybody's still kind of finding their role, finding their groove, finding their stride. So I'd say by mid-November, they'll be a lot cleaner.
Right in time for the Chicago Classic, I believe.
Just in time.
UNLV heading to the Windy City once again. Place they've had a lot of success in to an extent. And a drive from a face-off dot, save made by Wakeland. And now here come the Utes trying to get something set up, but they're unable to as that pass skips back to their own end. Karsten Senden swings it D to D, and Utah is going to try and wind up a rush here with Dylan Jensen on the forecheck. Hayden Siegel blocks that outlet pass. And Jensen knifes it in further into the zone. Here comes Mason Kelly on the forecheck, becoming the F1. Dylan Jensen now returning to the main forechecker. He ties up Cole Bisson behind the net. Hayden Siegel comes in to help. There's 3 black jerseys on 2 white jerseys down there. Nagra pinches as the defenseman. He's unable to keep the zone, and now here come the Utes again. And Hayden Siegel gets stood up in neutral ice. As we have a whistle, 9:57 to go. It looks like an icing.
A lot of time in this period spent on the Utah, and it's going to be important for the Rebels, obviously, to keep pushing, but at the same time, you want to take care of your own end. You can't forget about the little things, little details in your own end. That's what's ultimately going to win you hockey games.
The little things always stack no matter what. It sounds like a sports cliche, right? But little things matter. There's an NASCAR driver by the name of Corey LaJoy who has a saying called stacking pennies.
I like it.
And on the NASCAR topic, the South Point 400 is at Las Vegas Motor Speedway tomorrow afternoon to kick off the round of 8 in the playoffs. Here's Stathopoulos with a drive. He scores! Justin Stathopoulos with the insurance marker.
That's huge for the Rebels, and a lot of emotion there from Justin. He's had a lot of great scoring opportunities so far in these first 2 games, and I'm happy to see him finally bury.
And it's been a running joke basically since his freshman year. We've talked in intermission before, and he tells me I have one in him. So, or I have one in me, excuse me. And I guess he did in fact have a goal in him tonight. It's the insurance marker in the latter half of this 3rd period. Here comes UNLV once again. Out to the left wing for Oliver Band. Here comes Band, driving the net, shoots one off the pad, just out of the reach of Caleb Strong, who sweeps to the top. One-time drive from Gordon, just wide. Oliver Band gets taken down in neutral ice. Loose puck is picked up by Band, and he sweeps it over. Baker wins the puck battle, and Oliver Band just got taken out in the slot, and he's down in a heap. And we have Luke Baker with cross checks, and here comes Graylick, and here comes a bunch of black jerseys. And Oliver Band is still down. We didn't really see what happened, but Paul Waldhauser looks like the guilty party as he's injured himself at the face-off dot. And Caleb Strong is still being checked on, and Baker is barking at Waldhauser as he was heading back, and Waldhauser is a bit confused. And we already have a Ute down the tunnel towards the dressing room, and Graylick is upset. So we just had a bit of a Donnybrook here. We're working on getting a replay system for you all, so you might have to rewind the stream like we're about to do ourselves to see what even happened, unless you had your eyes on that. I was watching the play.
I was too, and it's good to see Oliver Band get off the ice using his own power there. That's a scary sight, but hopefully Bando is going to be okay.
We're going to take a look at what exactly happened on our end of things. It looks like our camera didn't necessarily catch it either. Waldhauser took a slash from Baker, and Baker started cross-checking him over and over again while he was down. So, wish we could give you more information, but it happened well behind the play. Not something you want to see late in the hockey game.
No, it's not. And I was going to bring that up earlier, too. It's going to be important for the Rebs. If they want to win this game, they're going to have to stay out of the box. So we'll see what else shakes out here. But good thing is Oliver Band got off the ice on his own power.
Which is really good. He was down in a heap for a while there, and it looked eerily reminiscent to go back about 14 years to the Nathan Horton incident in the 2011 Stanley Cup Final when he got cleaned out by Aaron Rome, I believe, right at the blue line, entering the zone just like that. Not necessarily saying that's exactly what happened. We just looked over and saw Band down in a heap, but it looked very similar.
Yeah, it did. And I was 9 at the time, and I still remember that play vividly. It was a scary sight, and that really kind of ended Horton's career.
Yeah, it was the end of his effective career. I know Horton went and played for the Columbus Blue Jackets for a brief stint after that, but was obviously never the same. He got the Stanley Cup ring in that season when Boston won, but looks like we're going to be 4-on-4. Neither player is, well, Paul Waldhauser isn't in the box, and it's going to be a double minor on Luke Baker posted on the board, so. And we have a major penalty on Trent Gephardt. Trent Gephardt, I believe, was the one escorted down the ramp, per se. So we have a very odd power play here as the ice crew is coming out to clean the snow off. And maybe that's what Paul Waldhauser was upset about. Maybe Baker saw 15 or 19 instead of 15 and went after him because Gephardt was immediately taken off the ice.
Right, could have been. I didn't really see what unfolded there, but ultimately 4-on-4 here for the next 4 minutes, and then Rebels will be on the power for a brief minute after that.
Yeah, just I really do think that's what happened. Because, I mean, 15 and 19 looks kind of similar if you're not really paying attention, and that would explain why Waldhauser was so confused, and he was barking at Baker as he was skating back to the bench, and he had his palm up, and I can imagine it was kind of a thing where, got it, so it was, we just received word, so Jake Larilla, 5-minute disqualification with Trent Gephardt serving the penalty. So we're going to attempt to sort out all the dirty laundry we can here. As Caleb Strong now on a minute-long power play, I guess, if you want to call it that. Head contact as a call on Jake Larilla. 5 minutes and a DQ, so with the disqualification vote, that also means Larilla will be sitting out the next game.
Yeah, that's tough as a player, especially late in the game with 7:35 left. You want to stick up for your teammates, but you got to be smart too. You know what's going to happen. You know you're going to get called, so there's a happy medium there.
It essentially looks like UNLV is on the power play. We're going to be 4-on-4. We play on here. UNLV with a 3-1 lead. Justin Stathopoulos breaking through for the Rebels on a wraparound to give them the insurance marker. Here's Nagra with it. UNLV taking advantage of the extra ice. Masick now down low, protecting the puck. Now Backel. He has a goal tonight between the legs. Backhand blocked in front. Now here come the Utes, but it's cut off by Nagra, and he filters it back down low. A good display of the hands from Luke Backel.
Good little area pass there from Devin Nagra.
And Nagra still with it. Now Carollo sends one off a kick plate down low. Backel hitting Matthew Delaney right in front of our camera. Now here come the Utes the other way, 1-on-2. Cutting outside, backhand try, shouldered to the high glass by Wakeland and picked up by Jensen. And now Dylan Jensen around the wall for Dylan Gordon. Gordon doubles back. And now here comes UNLV. That's Carollo to the left wing for Kelly. Kelly feeds one off the stick of Graylick, fed back on net, hopping puck, and Kelly sidesteps him in, shoots off the side of the cage. What a display of edge work from Mason Kelly to sidestep the skating Ute that was in his way, trying to separate him from the puck, and Kelly's back on it again, but gets chopped away and out of the zone.
He's been a horse tonight.
100% Mason Kelly working hard. Here's Dylan Gordon trying to link wide feed, but it's cut off. Now here comes John Correa. John Correa, partial 2-on-1, moves in, shoots one at an odd angle off the high glass, and picked up by Gordon, who sweeps it up top, but it gets cut off and fed right back on net and into the trapper of Wakeland for a whistle at the 5:29 mark.
Yeah, it looked like Dougie wanted to play that one there. I'm okay with the whistle, settle things down a little bit. At the same time, though, you keep things moving, keep the pressure on, get out of your zone, and get to the other end of the ice.
Yeah, and it gives them a breather. You know, there's a lot of chaos there in their own end, and gives them a chance to get a defensive zone draw win and maybe get some time and space to get a breakout. They do one part of that, winning the defensive zone face-off, but no time and space to be seen there as Dylan Kuntz loses an edge, and John Correa digs that puck free. And he steers that nearly to the open ice, but gets it to his teammate anyways, and now working in on the half wall, pulling up and then sending it back down low, and now up top. Now from the point, moving to the half wall. Now down low, and fed up top for Dylan Kuntz, who picks up that puck, and Dylan Kuntz on the left wing is going to play that softly and give chase. Graylick plays it. Now Dylan Jensen on the loose puck. Spun down low, Kuntz from the goal line. Now the trapezoid, Kuntz feeds to the slot, no one home, and Jensen gets muscled off that puck, and it goes into the skates of Colton Johnson, and Johnson can't sidestep Carollo, who loses the puck in his skates, and Carollo finds it and plays it down low for Dylan Kuntz, who takes the time and space. So we got about 20 seconds remaining on the UNLV penalty. A minute 20 on the Utah major.
It looks like Kunze took about 4 whacks there here on his opportunity in the O-zone. No call late in the game, I get it.
They're letting them play here as the UNLV penalty on Luke Baker is expiring. So Baker's out of the box, and UNLV at full strength for a minute on a major power play. Here comes Caleb Strong, who's going to set up shop. This very abbreviated power play. Oliver Band back out on the ice.
It's good to see.
Now about 35 to go on the power play for UNLV. They're going to try and wind things up with 3:30 to go.
Yeah, 3:30 left here in this third. You got about 25 seconds left on the power. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. Make the right plays, and you'll get the win tonight.
UNLV really has to just manage the puck, as you said, make the right plays, and don't give up many opportunities. They set up shop once again, and Jackson Wyatt's pass is cut off, and Utah sends it down, and they escape the abbreviated penalty kill. Back to full strength for each team. Now here's Dylan Kuntz, moves in, shoots one, and Graylick has to squeeze, and Kuntz comes together towards the end of that play.
Looks like Graylick didn't have full control of that puck, but quick whistle there.
Yeah, and that's another time that's happened too, where he didn't necessarily have full control, or it wasn't all the way like sealed, and you really had to squeeze together to keep that puck from leaking through. Johnson bowls his man over. Now here's Estabrook. He gets bumped and loses his stick. And that gets chipped into the zone and chased by Gavin Barr. Now here comes Bryce Johnson with it. Dropped off. Backel shoots. Blocked in front. Loose puck by Johnson. Shooting one. Blocks way up high into the protective netting for a whistle. And John Correa needs a new hockey stick, an all-white no-name hockey cone stick. That's a good pull.
You like it?
Yeah, one of my favorite hockey YouTubers from back in the day, Beer League Bender, was sponsored by No Name Hockey Co.
Beer League Bender, like it.
Good concept, just beer league hockey with a GoPro on the helmet. It's pretty cool.
We'll have to get some of that going this year, create some content for the broadcast.
I think that's more you than me. Yours would be more entertaining.
I think it goes both ways.
See if we could get some funding to buy a GoPro and buy us some ice time. Or maybe we go out for a practice one day and be grocery sticks. Here comes Utah coming the other way. Partial 3-on-2. Fed rink wide, and it hops off of Colton Johnson's stick, and he spins it back down low. UNLV clearing the zone.
145 here. I would expect Utah to pull the goalie here if they can get full possession, clear zone exit, get past the red line. I would expect Grelick to go to the bench immediately.
We'll see if Grelick stays in his cage. Good hand-eye coordination. Here comes McIntosh shooting, and a great stick by Matthew Delaney to get in that shooting lane and right at McIntosh. It's a great scoring opportunity for the Rebels with 1:29 to go. And it's going to be a timeout charge to Utah with 89 seconds remaining in regulation.
Yeah, and that's another freshman that's really made an impact, I feel. Last 2 nights he's looked good. Even in our 2 exhibition games, he's played a big role for the Rebels on that second line. Creates a lot of good scoring opportunities, gets pucks in deep, pucks on net, the old hockey cliche, and he's going to have a big role for the Rebs this year.
100% as we take the timeout. We're going to take a brief timeout with 89 seconds to go and hear from one of the team partners. Stay with us.
The mountains are my favorite place to get away and be together. With Lazy Dog, I wanted to create that same experience for our guests. Whether you're meeting up for happy hour, getting the whole crew together to celebrate, or looking for a delicious dinner at home, we're your local spot. Great ingredients are at the heart of our scratch kitchen, so we look for partners that put the same care into their craft as we do. So stop by and get back to what really matters.
All right, welcome back inside of City National Arena, coming out of the final timeout, maybe of the game. Utah taking their timeout, 89 seconds to go. They're down by 2. Utah with the advantage in Utah with the deficit, I should say, in the shot department. UNLV leads 38-19. The Rebels really pulling away from the game in the latter half and the latter stages. And now here come the Utes, and Joseph Grelick creeping out of his net a little bit as Utah advanced the puck up ice, and Hayden Siegel able to chop that one down, and icing's waved off. Utah is not happy about that, and they're going to advance the puck up ice again, and offsides. Grelick and able to get off the ice and give Utah the extra attacker.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see Kelly's line on the ice right now, along with Siegel and Jensen. Those are 3 players that really know how to take control of the puck and make the smart, simple plays.
Now they're getting changed up. You got Oliver Band, Charlie Mesa, Caleb Strong out there with
Wyatt and
Jackson
Kuntz.
Wyatt and Dylan Kuntz, yeah. So that puck is sent into the zone by Waldhauser and spun around the wall. 1 minute remaining in the third period.
Looks like Grelick's going to stay in between the pipes the rest of this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to get him out at this stage of the game with about 40 seconds and counting to go.
Right, yeah, 3-1, 4-1. Not a big difference there.
He's creeping out to the hash marks as that's fed to the goal mouth, and 30 seconds to go now. UNLV just trying to manage and weather his final push. And 20 seconds and counting. Wyatt skies it off the glass, and it leaks through and steered on and down the length of the ice. Up under 15 to go now. And Dylan Kuntz stands his man up under 10, and UNLV is just going to dribble this thing out, it looks like, if they're even able to, as Oliver Band wears a hit on the far side. And we have some chatting going on, and hey, we just had someone get shot at the puck at, and Oliver Band has a stick come up high, and we have some fisticuffs here. Oliver Band, and we have some more pushing and shoving. Dylan Kuntz locking horns with somebody. It was Karsten Senden and Paul Waldhauser with Oliver Band, and Band comes over and bumps him as Waldhauser is hurt, and he's still pleading his case, and now Bandisok is send-in. So now that goes back to if we had the doubt that Waldhauser even did anything to Oliver Band. Now it looks like it does because he's getting it back in blood, and Carson Senden is incensed, and Oliver Band skating by and doing the broom motion. Trent Gephardt is upset as well. Hayden Siegel with the golf swing, and everyone's still chatting, and Carson Senden is still upset, and the Utes are still pretty upset, but everyone's going to disembark to their bench, and finally spitting out the final score, 3-1. The Skating Rebels, 2 games in a row. They defend their home ice on banner-raising weekend against the WCHL rival.
Yeah, great start for the Rebels this weekend. It's good for them to be able to get the brooms out and get the clean sweep.
100%, and these two teams are going to shake hands. We'll see what happens, if anything, in this handshake line between these two teams, with a lot of jawing back and forth, some minor dust-ups. And Paul Waldhauser didn't shake Hayden Siegel's hand, which is interesting. Going to see if anything else happens in this handshake line. And Brady Estabrook shoving Paul Waldhauser. So very testy here tonight.
Yeah, and you got to remember these teams are going to play each other another 2 times this season, so there's going to be some bad blood for sure the next time the Rebels are in Salt Lake.
And the the Utah fans in Salt Lake are always relentless, Bo. I know you had some experience with that, with them right behind your bench, a lot of chirping.
Yeah, right behind the bench, letting us know. But, yeah, it's a tough barn to play in, and last few years they've kind of had our number at least one of the nights, so I hope the Rebels can go up there and get the brooms out once again.
Nonetheless, UNLV has the brooms out tonight. Final score 3-1 once again here from City National Arena. 2 nights in a row. The Skating Rebels defending their banner-raising weekend and home opening weekend. So on behalf of Bo Kennedy, Kyle Sparrow, Zoe Salas, Jack Bridges, Rolando Guerrero, Gene Gomez, and Dominic Var, myself, we all say thank you for watching and good night from City National Arena. We'll see you next weekend, same time, same place, when UNLV welcomes Grand Canyon University to Las Vegas.